An absolute shocker, an absolute Superman this week. Maybe the most shocking event in all of the absolute books to this point happens in this issue. Cannot wait to talk about Absolute Superman and everything else that is on the docket this week on Pals Pulls. Thank you for being here, whether you are live with us or in the future. Allow me to introduce my pals. We've got Marco,
Celsius.
Tyler,
Fahrenheit. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work,
It
dude.
doesn't.
It doesn't. Different scale.
Yeah.
and I'm Sean. I already said thank you for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy what we do. We're going to talk about a bunch of books today. We've got Absolute Superman #9. We have, sorry, my pile of books is a bit of a mess. Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League #1.
Oh, do we?
Absolute, well, some of us do, i.e. me. It wasn't available digitally, and it wasn't the only book that wasn't either. Absolute Green Lantern #5 was also unavailable, so the guys were not able to read them, unfortunately. We do have a make good. We do have a make good. We will talk about JSA #10 and all new Venom as well. We've also got One World Under Doom #6, Captain America issue 2, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell issue 3, the finale of that, and also happens to be the listener pick poll this week. So, big time books on the docket. Let's waste no time talking about these issues. Let's get into Absolute Superman #10. Oh, I said #9 earlier. Excuse me. It's issue 10. This is written by Jason Aaron with art by Carmine DiGiandomenico, with colors by Ulysses Areola, letters by Tom Napolitano. So, this issue gives us a lot more developments as far as what is going on with Ra's al Ghul, the Omega Men. It puts Superman on a collision course with Ra's al Ghul, but also with Peacemaker, or Peace. What are they called? The Peacemakers, yeah. That leads to a massive heel turn, a massive reveal, which we'll get into in a little bit. I really love the way this issue was constructed. It gives us a look into Krypton and the past, and Jor-El, and the risks and things that they would put themselves through, what it was like to be the working man, the man on the ground floor, and then it immediately cuts to what it's like to be the man on top. You know, we see Ra's al Ghul in his ivory tower, so to speak. Brainiac, Peacemaker, all them together. Lots and lots of stuff happened, I feel like, in this issue. Tyler, what'd you make of Absolute Superman 10?
Well, let's see if I sound better. And people, if I sound weird, just let me know. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was almost like Jason Aaron tackling the Man of Steel of it all. You know, that thing people complain about in Man of Steel, and I'm one of them, with him having to decide if he should kill. And there's that whole flashback, which I love when Absolute Superman flashes back to their version of Krypton. And Kal-El having to come to terms with his dad having to kill these giant mole people. And sometimes, for the greater good, you need to do something bad. And throughout this entire issue, as it's happening, I'm like, he's gonna have to do it. He's gonna kill this Peacemaker, and that's gonna be the change for this Absolute Superman. No, he's still Superman at his core. He even does what his dad couldn't do. I really like that. I think that could have been an easy out, just to make him the Superman that kills.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Jason Aaron didn't do that, because I think that is core to Superman, even when you do an Absolute Superman. And I thought this was a really good issue. Not my pick of the week, though. But
I want to echo what you're saying about that opening scene. I think one of the strengths that Aaron has had with regards to Superman is when he's able to contrast his Krypton life, because those are where he has his lessons and inform who he is as a person, and that then informs what happens later in the book. That's when I think it's most effective. And so, agreed that the easy way out would have just been, go for it. But the turn 100%, I think, shows it's showing us who this Kal-El is. And that's one of the things that since the first issue, we've always been like, who is he? Since last issue, where we're like, okay, we have to see where it is that he's gonna step up. This is him stepping up. So I'm really content with this issue. I thought it was well done from a storycraft perspective. But then also I don't know if this was a in my mind a different colorist, but I feel like the colors popped more in this issue. Maybe it was the contrast between the blue and the red of the snow and Krypton and everything going on there. But I thought overall the art was really strong this issue.
I'm pretty sure it's been Ulysses the whole time,
Yeah.
and he really has been an MVP of this series because his colors just make that the suit
Yeah,
come to life so much. I honestly don't think that um the visuals would be as impressive from the suit standpoint without him. He's just doing such an incredible job with that. But yeah, this first of all, this was a crazy week for books. Like just up front, I really enjoyed a lot of what is in the stack. And this easily could have been my pick of the week. It's not, but it could have been because I absolutely love this issue. I think it's fantastic. I really love the way that they're focusing on defining this version of Superman. Differences and similarities. And again, as Tyler and Marco, pointed out, this is still the Superman that we love at the end of the day. He makes the right decision. But I like that we see that he even has to consider that and make that choice. And we also get to see how, again, this version of Superman, having spent actual time with his parents, his birth parents, makes him different. His Pa Kent can't really teach Superman that lesson, but Jor-El can, and I love that.
I think the nuance to what you just said there is Pa Kent is a good person and could teach him how to be kind, but in times of crisis, which is exactly what this world is in, and what Krypton was going through at the time, that's where it becomes contextual. It is in the environment, and the environment creates the man, and it's guided by Jor-El. I thought that was really cool.
Well, Jor-El is his podcast. He's both combined now.
Sure.
And I think it's not a Superman of two worlds anymore. This is a Superman of a world. His world was Krypton. And his whole thing is I'm just going to make sure this world doesn't become like Krypton.
Mm.
And he's adopting the world rather than the world adopting him. And I really enjoy that about this book. Because he's more active in that. It's not him learning about this world. He knows how to live. He was a kid. He was practically a preteen, right? But based on like what we're seeing. So I think that it really lends context to it. And the fact that he was also in space for a lot of those years in that ship alone, that made him a little fucked up. And I'm sure it gave him a lot to really think about and mull over and kind of make an oath to himself that he will never let it happen again, no matter what. And I like that. I like how this world in Absolute Superman really feels like what the objective or the mission statement of the Absolute World was that these are all worlds that are. This is a world influenced by Darkseid. I can feel that in this. There's direct references to the boombox. There's the Omega symbol that's on. Spoiler, Talia. We all knew it. But there's that influence there that really feels like, okay, this world is demonstrably different. I can see that Dark Legion in this world, whereas like it doesn't really jive with Absolute Batman or the world in like Wonder Woman, which actually seems brighter in most places. Here it really feels like that, and I enjoy that. But Marco, one thing about the coloring I wanted to point out too is Kryptonite. They are so specific when they use green in this book. It is only really ever used with Kryptonite and Brainiac. and it's always either it's juxtaposed by these bright reds that is Superman throughout. Even I wonder if the green was used. I don't have the pages up on me, but was Talia's outfit green as well? Like that should have been our like her logo might have been green.
The like setup on her like thigh highs and that kind of thing is like this
would be
very
looking
light muted green.
Yeah, but that should have been our first clue that she was the bad guy. You know,
That's a good point. That's a great point,
that's
actually.
only the bad things are in this green here. That is the scary thing for Superman, and it's throughout. If there's green here, it's not a good thing. So yeah, it's her dagger that's green, right? That she pulls out, I think.
No, there's actually nothing really green on her. She has a blue power sword,
Oh,
and
it's
the
blue,
green
okay.
that we see later is really a reflection of what's coming off the gun,
Got it.
and it's
Okay.
just reflecting on her pants.
But I guess that's a reflection of who we know her as she is now. It's a green dagger now that it's revealed. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Either way, I'm really digging this book. I think this is one of the stronger issues.
Yeah, agreed.
So, the big reveal here, as has been discussed, is that the Talia is revealed to have been the Primus, and she is working with Ra's al Ghul. Now, we told you that it would be Talia, so we did call that. I wasn't surprised when the reveal happened, but it still had the intended effect on me. I still enjoyed it. It was still like, oh wow. And seeing her stab Superman, it still it still had the intended effect. And I really appreciated that fact. I kind of wish that it had been presented in a bigger panel, because I do feel like, the
Mm.
panel where she initially stabs him is, or the page where she initially stabs him is 6 panels, and the next one is 5. I really think that it would have been cool if we could have gotten a nice, 3 panel page or a 4 panel page with a big panel showcasing that moment, because I just think it could have used a little more oomph.
That's a great call.
But now we're just nitpicking at this point. Like that's how good the book is. Like
Sure.
my nitpick is I think this is the wrong facial hair for Ra's al Ghul. That's Vandal Savage, my boy. That's like I keep seeing Vandal Savage throughout this.
Get rid of the ponytail.
Just shave it right down the middle. Just shave right down there. Just leave the like how I grow facial hair. Have him do that.
Big shout out to Rami Darwish for kicking us off. The 199 says Superman in this world has Bruce Wayne elements. Huh. It's definitely not rich.
He means emotionally, like the fact
Mm-hmm.
that he, in mainline is too young to really feel the fact that he doesn't have his parents, whereas in this world he has no, like, he knew his parents, now they're dead,
Right.
so he does have a trauma associated directly with that. I love that. While we're at it, Clayton Bergstrom with a 6.99 CAD. Shout out to the pals for offering a great community weekly to discuss comics and nerd out. Also, Absolute Superman was pretty cool. Thank you, Clayton. Appreciate the love, my friend. I agree with your messages, both of them. And I encourage anybody who is enjoying the show tonight, drop a super chat. Make sure you like the video. Be subscribed to the channel. All those things help us out a ton. Matt Fisher coming in instantaneously with the 199 says, "What's up with One World Under Doom?" Ha! Got you, Matt, because this week we are reviewing One World Under Doom. So you better sit your ass in that car or wherever you're at, whether you're working or you're at home chilling, and hear our review. I will be on my soapbox for this one.
Put whatever Uber ride is on pause for that one. Tell them to sit down, unbuckle, get relaxed. They're listening to some comic books.
Yeah, we're taking the local route leisurely.
Also, I got a Streamlabs notification. Thank you to Mr. Thwip for following us on Twitch. How did anyone even find us there? We're not even been live there in over a year.
Thanks. So yeah, I think we really hit it on this book. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
And now I really I don't know what is next. And that's a fun feeling. I don't know what to expect next. The next issue is titled, I guess. Well, what they're teasing is the prison of the Al Ghuls. So Superman going to jail, about to be locked up.
Another
A?
prison. We have Wonder Woman in a labyrinth, Superman now in a prison, Batman also in a prison / Arkham. It's a lot.
Pull.
Yeah, pull.
Not our pick of the weeks, huh? Okay, I thought it would be one of yours picks of the week.
It was strong, but
Strong week.
interesting.
Not
Interesting.
quite.
Okay.
I think this week is one of
I
the
mean-
stronger weeks of the year, actually.
2 of them could be Sean's, and I wouldn't even know because I didn't even get there.
Well,
Ooh. But thank you, Hayden's Hideout, with the 5 gifted Comics Pals memberships.
Ooh, shout out to John George Peppers. Love that name. Sylph Stevenson, Raphael Druniok, Harris Pagero, and JC. Thank you so much. Sharing
Thank
the
you,
love.
Hayden. Really appreciate you doing that. Really, really appreciate that so much. And congratulations to all the winners. You guys know what happens when one of you gives memberships on this channel. We gift them right back.
thought-
So we're sending out 5 channel memberships right now to you guys.
I thought you were going to say an angel gets its wings, but you know who did get some wings? Sebastian
Hey.
Travis, Austin Mick, 1138, Daniel Martin, Victor, and Booster Green. That's Booster Gold's cousin that hasn't really... he got stuck in like the 50s, I think.
Booster Green was over there. I was on Near Mint Condition yesterday talking about DC solicits, and Booster Green came on over here from there. So thank you so much, Booster, for
Sick.
joining us here on the channel from over there. Really appreciate the migration, brother.
Any good
Let's hear-
solicits there, Sean?
It was collected edition solicits,
cool.
so not really my thing. But Absolute Superman number 10, pull 65%, didn't buy or read 18%, pick of the week 11%, pass 4%. I wouldn't even read too much into that low pick of the week score just because of how big a week this is. I think the fact that so many people voted pull is a great sign for this comic.
Nice. Strong. And 4% pass. Awesome.
Yeah. Mirror, bro, what are you doing? Just ate 5 quesadillas. That's a lot.
That's a whole case of them. Jeez.
You better be near a toilet. Holy shit.
Sean, not everyone's affected by cheese the way we are, okay?
I just mean you eat 5 quesadillas. It's got to come out.
I feel a little judged because before we recorded, I ate 5 tacos. So
You can handle 5. I can do
I
max.
had 3
4.
tacos and 2 burritos.
Wow.
It's Taco Bell though. That's normal, right? Right, guys?
I don't need to talk about.
I've never had Taco Bell. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Cool. It's fine. I just feel judged. It's cool.
We have a lot going on the channel, and one of those things is that Goku just dropped a 20 spot on us. Thank you so much, Goku, for coming through with that. You guys are out here doing the Lord's work with these live streams. He said love streams, I like that.
A love
meant that.
stream.
Yeah,
Okay.
love
Meant that.
streams. Thank you, Goku.
Is that like
Thank you
did he drop
again.
a spirit bomb there?
Aggregated all of our spirits.
Yeah, all of our
Sure.
love was given to
Yes.
him.
And he said, thank you again for the time change. Thank you, Goku, for taking advantage of the time change and hanging out with us here.
And I do imagine I'm actually talking to Goku when I speak to you, just so you know.
He has that's his profile pic, dude. Who else is gonna be? Son Goku.
Exactly. Face value. So big things happening here on the channel. We just interviewed Tilly Walden, the cartoonist behind the
Yes.
Clementine series of books, and a whole host of other great books that she has done. So that we did that yesterday, in fact. So I pulled double duty yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Marco and I got to chat with Tilly. Great conversation, yeah.
Phenomenal.
I thought it was good.
I love when she comes on the channel. Second time only, but such a huge fan of hers. Me and Sean were chatting a little bit after, like right directly after, just like her brain for comics, because once she's an educator, is just so on point, so descriptive. She knows exactly what she's saying because she has to communicate it to people. So she's a great orator. And man, she's just a good vibe. We were chatting even beforehand. She jumps right into it. She's goofy. She can make you laugh. She'll pull out a joke. She likes a bit. Awesome. Great guest.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I wish we could have just. She jumps on the call, hit the mic, whatever comes out of our mouths is just live. Can't do that, but
Risky.
that would have been fun. 10 and Stats says, is it going to be 7 CST moving forward? Yes. The show is at 8 p.m. Eastern,
Oh.
so 7 Central.
Correct.
Yeah.
CST always confuses me. But
You
yes.
know,
Siesta?
that
Can't
doesn't
be-
confuse.
Yeah, can't be doing that during the show.
Munster Design says she's so charming. Love the conversation. Yes. Yes, I agree. She is very charming and very smart. So fun to talk to always. However, we look forward. And next Tuesday, we have a massive interview. We talked about it on Saturday on the main show. Maybe you missed it. But this Tuesday, we are going to be interviewing none other than the creative team behind Skin Breakers. The legendary Robert Kirkman and David Finch will be here on this channel. And I am telling you right now, there are few people in this comic book space that I want to talk to more than Robert Kirkman. I'm going to have to contain myself in that conversation. And I really hope that all of you show up because it's going to be huge. And if we can get big numbers behind this, it'll be a great showing to Skybound that this is a place to come when you've got a big announcement over there, including from the boss himself, Robert Kirkman.
And David Finch.
And David.
I was telling my brother, like, oh, we got the Walking Dead Invincible guy on the show, and David Finch. He's like, oh, David Finch. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, the guy who draws some of the most iconic images of Batman ever. You know, yeah, and especially seeing him in the creator-owned space. And I think we're gonna be talking the idea of creator-owned comics a lot on that episode. I know Sean has gotten me to go into the Wayback Machine for some of the research on this, literally, and it's been fun.
Yeah.
We'll also confirm a final time because we're currently confirming whether it's going to be 6 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. EST. So that's 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. Pacific. You will hear an official announcement from our end, though.
Yeah.
So if you got a call from work to watch it, do it.
Please.
And also, if you've got questions, please throw them on the Discord. When there'll be a post that goes up to let you guys know the time and everything like that. Throw them in there. I don't know how much time we're gonna have with the crew, but we will do what we can. I really hope they give us an hour. I hope they don't screw us with a half hour because that is not enough time to talk to two legends.
That's a tease.
Yeah,
That gets us in the idea of what Skinbreaker is. But we'll take what we can get.
yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Thank you.
100%. And then, of course, this Saturday is the second part of the Ultimate Universe deep dive. We're going to be talking about the Ultimate Universe biggest success, the Ultimates, and the method and mentality that Mark Miller had when launching the Ultimate Universe, and how it was in contrast to Bendis, and how both of their worldviews shaped the Ultimate Universe. So big stuff coming up this Saturday. We'll also be joined by Gavin Guidry, so that should be fun to have him around as well. Very much looking forward to it. Clayton Bergstrom, just watched the Kirkman v. Bendis debate because of you guys. So hyped for that convo. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like we talked about it on the show last Saturday, the Bendis and Kirkman debate. You got to watch it. It's actually a lot more available than I realized. I couldn't fucking find it, but Tyler was able to pull it right up. So you guys should check that out.
I literally listened to it on the way to Marco's apartment.
Oh,
Sick.
did you?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
It just finished. I think I literally just finished as soon as I got to you.
I
But yeah, if you need the link, it's on iFanboys channel. They have a cool version of it where it's they have an interview with Kirkman or Bendis first, then there's the debate, then they have a quick wind down with Kirkman.
It's cool stuff.
Very, very cool. Definitely check it out. All right, let's get on to the next book on the docket, which is going to be Absolute Green Lantern #5. Now, there is a slight problem. Marco and Tyler were unable to read this because it wasn't on digital. So I'll give my brief thoughts. I won't belabor it, just so that we can get the guys back in the conversation as soon as possible. So this is Absolute Green Lantern number 5, written by Al Ewing with art and colors by Janoy Lindsay, letters by Lucas Catoni. So this book has very much been telling us the origin. It's two sides. One side is how Hal got his powers, and really it only became clear with this issue how the book was delineated. It's telling you how Hal became the Black Hand, or got the power of the Black Hand, or however you want to say it. And then also the story of how Joe Moline's fight with Hal goes. Those have really been the two sides of it. And finally, after this issue, we're through that point in the book. All of that gets resolved here, which I was really happy with, because it felt like the book was moving slowly as a result. But we're past that point. We got some clear revelations about the fate of certain characters that I think will be exciting. Hector Hammond is in this. There's a really great moment, some great character work on Al's part, where Hector Hammond arrives on the scene. The town is now open. It's now possible to enter the town. And so Hector Hammond gets there and he's interviewing someone who was injured. And he's kind of like, hey, I'm the guy who decides whether you get medical assistance or not. So it's within your best interest to talk to me. Yeah. Like, he has this air about him, this arrogance that feels right for Hector Hammond if you know who the character is. But the fact that his ego matches the way that he looks, like he's an attractive presenting human being, I think is a very interesting turn for the character. Now, is he going to get that big ass dome later on? That remains to be seen.
I hope not. It's disgusting. I hate
it. Really is
big four-headed creatures. Ugh.
Yeah.
MODOK,
yeah.
No thank you. Movie MODOK, even more no thank you.
We do get to see, though, Hal's turn to the Black Hand, which is really interesting. And the dialogue that is associated with that sequence is interesting. He straight up shoots Abensur. Hal does. He just shoots him with a gun, regular gun.
Does it work?
It does. It does. He
Damn.
kills Abensur.
I mean, that's a kind of a twist on the origin.
Well, but weren't they doing they were doing the gold bullet, right? Wasn't he like fiddling with it?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So now, like, he had that like Majin Buu glow or whatever. Now he's just regular. He lost the glow.
Ooh.
And so when he gets shot, he just dies.
As do most people when they get fucking shot.
But he says judgment, Hal Jordan, the Black Hand. And then we see the process that Hal Jordan goes through of becoming the Black Hand.
Does this mean Abensur was almost like a guardian? And then, or actually, no, better analogy. Is he the Sorting Hat?
Wait, what?
He decides that Hal is a Black Lantern, right? Here?
I don't know if he decides it.
Well, because didn't in the previous issue, he was saying he was deciding on the fate of people in his head. They weren't dead. They were being calculated or something like that, right?
They're being judged.
Judged,
But we don't know by whom.
Okay, he could
Right.
be a harbinger of whoever is doing the judging. And I think in covers that were shown at San Diego Comic-Con, wasn't John shown as a Yellow Lantern? So I'm wondering if this is sorting people into the core.
So at the end of the book, we get the answer to part of that, which is this. You see that Hal and Joe both get sucked into some shit, and they see John, who now has the sickest fucking white beard and hair of all time. My man looks very badass. I love nothing more than a black man who ages this way, who can pull this off. He has aura, not just literally, but that beard is popping. And yes, it does look like the yellow aura of a Yellow Lantern, but does that mean what it normally means? We don't know.
Right.
Do you like him older?
Yeah, I think it's sick.
You like Unk Stewart in this?
I think it's
August
perfect for him.
Stewart, dude, that's so funny. Yeah, he got that Gandalf glow up.
Yep.
Oh, he went John Stewart the White. Well, not the white, just his beard. Yeah.
They didn't make that.
That's
change in
interesting
the
though,
absolute
but it is
universe.
interesting that we do have a core or a collection of different emotional spectrums in this.
Again, I feel like we
Presumably.
really don't know.
Okay,
Right,
we know
presumably.
3.
Presumably.
Has this, now that we have a clearer picture, or clearer, not clear, but clearer, has your opinion shifted on this book at all?
I thought this was the most interesting issue of the book. I really enjoyed this issue a lot. I'm interested to see where everything is going to go, but now it's more than just intrigue. We got the cool action sequence between Hal and Joe. We've got a villain in Hector Hammond. We're leaving that fucking town. And whatever the hell happened here is very cool. So I love this issue. I thought it was awesome. Very much, in my mind, the best issue of the series. And by the way, Janoy Lindsay still doing his fucking thing on the art. I think this looks awesome too. How about that? It's an awesome comic.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear.
Last thing I'll say about it, it does try to give us more Joe, because Black Hand, which something weird happens to Hal. He morphs into some nastiness right here. He's infected. And he's telling Sojourner to take off the ring. Like he's yelling at her to take it off. And then we get a flashback sequence that shows her having an argument with her wife where basically they're breaking up. And her wife is like, hey, where are you going with my ring? You better take that ring off. I bought that for you. That wasn't cheap. Give it back.
Ooh.
This is the week where Al Ewing writes relationship drama, huh?
Yep. So Ace's issue. Very good stuff.
That hit a very particular nerve, Sean.
Oh.
Not me. I've removed it from my memory.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I can teach you my ways, Marco. It's called gaslighting yourself. It's real great.
You quite may enjoy this issue then, Marco. I say pull. I was very strong. I enjoyed it a lot, and I am solidly excited for the future of this book. Let's see what the listeners have to say. You guys voted as you can for every single book that we talk about here. 53% of you pull it, 37% didn't buy a read, pick of the week, 6%, and pass is 3%. So pretty good results. Pretty good.
We have a $4.99 super chat from Atomic Count as well. He's saying, absolute Green Lantern scared the crap out of me. Didn't Ewing realize I needed to sleep last night? Excellent issue. Really like how this series is shaping up. You were in bed and you got the crap scared out of you? Jeez. Worst place to have that happen. Out.
And you know what else this does? It solidifies Absolute Flash as the bottom tier Absolute book for me. It just doesn't have the same sauce for me as these other books.
This is you're saying
Absolute Flash.
Flash. Okay.
Gotcha. That Flash is a bottom? No way.
What else did you guys have to say? Scriptured, am I mistaken, or did he speak as if Abinsur was a mantle? Yes, he did. He definitely did.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. We have entertained me, I guess, booking what our Halloween costumes will be for the show. Saying Sean should be absolute Jon Stewart. Marco absolute Superman. And I'm absolute Martian Manhunter, looking like the everyday person just talking to myself a lot. That is just me. Entertain me.
No. He has to get the whole multicolor. He's gonna get the one eye. That's what you need, Tyler. You need
I'm not showing my one eye monster on the stream, dude. Come on, wrong stream.
Hey yo.
Wow, Luna said for me it's still Martian Manhunter on the bottom. Wow, okay.
Hey, different strokes, different folks.
Fair enough. And then I really was looking forward to talking about this issue with Tyler specifically. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to read it.
If you had watched Pal's previews this week, you would have known that I was excited for this book a lot too. I projected it to be my pick of the week, but I guess it'll show up in my Kindle books next week on the 13th. Cool. Maybe I'll do a quick hit next week on what I think about it.
A week? It's gonna take a week?
It says August 13th. Yeah. So that means that in my eyes means that something fucked up with the digital file, and maybe they only have certain days of the week they can release books. They can't just release it the day after or something.
Sure.
But last week there was also an issue where they came out on Thursdays. So I don't know.
It's so
Big
weird,
bummer.
dude. But also like, but then they print it, right? You presumably you take the printed version from the digital file.
Not all the time. Sometimes I'll see errors in the digital file and it's not in print.
Oh, interesting.
I think
Okay.
they're almost different in a way. There's got to be some steps that they don't see each other hit.
Well, I'm gonna get this review done. Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League #1. This is by the stellar creative team of Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott, Annette Kwok on colors, letters by Troy Pateri. First of all, Greg and Nicola, you need to stop whatever else you're doing and go and do Black Magic. That's what you need to do, because that book is crazy good. And by the way, this was too, but that book is crazy good, and we need more of that in the world.
Forgot about that book, dude. Wow, you're about to praise this book. We had to call him to task first.
Yeah,
Stop your side quest, buddies.
It's been too long. Like, what are we doing? So this book is very simple. Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League. That is the premise, and that is what this issue is setting up. Spoiler, they don't actually get to rob. They don't actually get to rob the Justice League.
I was going to try and finish your sandwiches there.
What? Finish my sandwich? You're going to eat my food?
Sorry. I had enough today.
They don't rob the Justice League in this issue, but it sets up everything that you need to know to understand why they want to do it. And this issue is a ton of fun. It's Cheetah centric largely, and it establishes that she has a deep hunger inside of her because she's controlled by a god. Kataga, which you'll remember from their prior run, Greg and Nicola's prior run on Wonder Woman, where they established all that stuff. And so there are a lot of trappings that will be familiar to you if you've read their prior work with the characters. She does not want to kill humans anymore. She goes to a vet and eats an animal instead of eating a human. Or rather, excuse me, a dead human, someone dead. She consumes their body instead of eating a live human. But she's so hungry that she comes upon a person, and this hunger makes her want to eat that person. So she gives up on that, but now she needs a way to kind of battle back her hunger and have a big win in her life. She comes up with this idea to rob the Justice League of an item that nobody ever references in comics, but Greg Rucka does. So there's a particular item called the Power Bank. And what it is it's a Justice League object that has within it all the powers of the various heroes who have been members of the Justice League. And Cheetah wants that because she believes that would sell for huge money and would allow them to live their lives, free. The problem is it's the fucking Justice League. And she goes and asks Cheshire to help her. There's a great sequence where they're just eating together. They're just at a diner eating together. And they're just talking about each other's lives. Cheetah asks Cheshire about her kid and stuff like this. And in the scene before, they just fucking killed somebody. Cheshire killed somebody. She's got this new power where she can make you explode if she cuts you. She's got nails. So she cuts a dude and he's like, a scratch, that's all you do? I'm going to fucking kill you. And then they leave the room and you can see that he exploded inside that room that they left. He fucking explodes.
It's like the old samurai thing where they slice you and then it's a beat.
Yep.
And then he's sliced in half. Yeah.
Yep. Very good stuff.
I have a question for you, Sean. Okay. Does my boy Sideways show up?
No.
Okay. He is rumored to be showing up in this run. Mark Waid spilled the beans on that on our interview with him. So
right.
I'm keeping my eye out. I'm glad I didn't miss him though. So we're good.
Yeah. No Sideways
Sean,
here. Yeah.
Does that splat, is that behind the window pane?
That's a good question. So the splat is in front of the window pane, but behind the characters.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. This made me fall in love with Cheshire. I do not know who she is. I need to see
dude.
all of her. Oh my God. Let me show you guys this. Look at her.
Cheshire's great, dude. You never watched Young Justice, then I assume, huh?
No.
She's pretty prominent in Young Justice, and she's prominent in the Green Arrow world. It's Roy Harper's ex. He has a kid with her.
A kid, Roy's pulling baddies, bro.
Yeah, that kid becomes Red Arrow or Speedy. It's what's her face? She was dead for a bit, then it brought him back on drugs, and he was swinging a dead cat around.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
The only story downside I could sling at this is that the reasoning why Cheetah and the reasoning why Cheshire agrees to do this doesn't really make sense. Like, there's no reason why she would think that this could be done. And I feel like she probably should have said no, especially since she has a kid. They didn't do enough to sell you on frankly, why either one of them want to do this. But it doesn't matter because the book is so good and so fun, you can just look past that. The art, though, is unbelievable. Nicola Scott is a revelation. We don't get nearly enough of her, which sucks. But when we do, it's always good. And this is some great Nicola Scott stuff. Not going to ever wow you with crazy panel layouts or anything like that. She's more traditional in that regard. But what you get is always beautiful. I love her work so much.
I'm so bummed I didn't get to read this. I was pretty excited for it.
I think you would have loved it. I
would. Yeah.
It's not my pick of the week, but I genuinely had a blast, and I can't wait for the next one.
So we got a couple of super chats here from Matt Fisher. He said for 199, what's up with X-Men? All right. Well, you lost Sean with that one. Cool.
Yeah, stepped out of the stream.
He had to make sure his soapbox was, or he might be grabbing it. Who knows? All right.
What's up with X-Men? Man, listen, you don't want me to get on my soapbox about that shit. I wouldn't know. I don't read X-Men.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's none on the show this week. And then he also said, stand back, Snow Buddies. Cheshire is in town.
Oh my God, dude.
Facts.
Another one for the roster. Who knew?
Does she count?
Why
Yeah,
not?
she counts.
I thought she was Asian.
Oh, I don't know. I
don't know Snow Buddy and logistics here.
Beautiful character.
Atomic Count bringing us back to where we should be. The colors on this were astounding. Thanks, Atomic Count.
Yes, they were. This is a pull for me. There's a pull for me. I loved it. This was an awesome issue. If you were hesitant on picking this up, I really think it's worth your while. How much was this?
I think it's $3.99.
Yeah, $3.99. Oh my God, you can't really get. There aren't really any other comics on the docket better than that at that price point.
I paid it already, just didn't get the book. So
Pre-ordered it.
Yeah, literally pre-ordered it. Yeah.
I'm gonna finger wag right now at the chat because didn't buy or read is 61% of you. What's up with that? 28% pull, 10% pass, 0% pick of the week. If you passed, talk to me about why. Was there something in particular that you didn't like about this? Well, obviously there must have been if you passed. I'm just not sure. Like, other than the fact that it's a meaningless story, like they're not going to succeed. I think everything else about it is phenomenal.
They might have passed if they're allergic to cats.
Well,
Ooh.
You just boo me?
He sure did.
Jeez, get the fuck out of here, Mark.
All right, let's move on to a book that we can all hopefully speak to. That being Captain America #2. This is written by Chip Zdarsky, with art by Valerio Schiti, colors by Frank Martin, letters by Joe Caramagna. So Captain America OG is teaming up with the Captain America of the Iraq War. And they are on a mission to take down Dr. Doom. This issue splits itself between flashbacks showing us the life of the Captain America of the Iraq War and what he went through and what shaped his, view of war in the world. And the modern, which is actually still a flashback, but them in Latveria or Doomstadt going after Doom. and everything that goes on there. Marco, what did you think about Captain America issue 2?
I think I called this out as being very my potential pick of the week, and it was. I have really enjoyed what Chip's doing here with the characters, and in particular, the way that the setting has made it all feel so grounded. I think there's an interesting conflict here between what the past heroics or the past consequences, even if they're positive, tend to inform the way that in the future those wins get warped into questionable action. There's there's a moment where there's a discussion about surveillance and satellites, and Cap's questioning, he's like, is this what I meant by freedom? Like, technically, yeah, we won, we did the right thing, but people have pushed beyond that. And so um, I think Chip's presenting a lot of really interesting moral quandaries. He's also questioning the relationship and the function of the government and military intervention. So from that, and it feels incredibly relevant, but very poignant. I think that Chip is a smart writer. I think he knows what he's going to do with this. I don't think he's going to overstep in any way that feels like it'll lean away from the Captain America character, but in any way that feels like, okay, this is obviously in the realm of superheroics. No, we're going to keep it to the moment, and we're going to keep it to what he's trying to say. And I think what he's trying to say is really interesting. So I took a lot out of this. Um, I particularly like the art as well. I think everything about this functions. So big ups.
This is my pick of the week as well. I really like this. I still the concept of the shifting timeline on paper I don't like. In function I like it. The function of Cap waking up from being in World War II to essentially post Iraq War is a bigger shell shock than when he originally woke up. The idea of the United States as a globalization effort that has bases everywhere, essentially, is a foreign idea to Cap, who was only in World War II. We only had just really gotten into the global scale of things back then. And even though we fought against it, it wasn't until World War II happens, in Pearl Harbor, that we're like, all right, fuck it. I mean, World War I as well, but I think that's really interesting. And the idea that it's the previous iterations of the way continuity worked was that Cap was actually alive during all this. And sure, people got to tell their ideas of what Cap was during Vietnam and nomad and ditching the American, flag. But a lot of it at the time was also propaganda in terms of publication history. This is a Cap that is fully out of his realm of what he's used to. And what I really liked was this other Cap. Do you have his name at hand? I think his name's like Matt or Mike or something. You're muted, Sean, if you're talking.
He's got some generic ass name.
Yeah. Which Matt would be the most.
Colton.
Yeah, something like that. Well, anyway, this other Cap, Chip could have went the route of U.S. agent in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, super angry and super violent. This Cap's a nihilist. This Cap is seeing the futility of war, and he's just a soldier. There's this bit where he's talking. He's in Iraq. The U.S. has driven out the Taliban, and his translator is there, and his translator goes off path, and he's a little. There's a bit where he's like still a little weary of his translator, but then there's a bit where the translator kills the guy who was obviously going to fill the void of the Taliban, because he knew that was going to happen. War never ends. And then flash forward to he's in a convoy with his teammates, and they talk about government saying they found weapons of mass destruction somewhere. I don't know what that means, but we're over to the next war. This is a guy who realizes war never ends, and he's just a soldier, and he's a nihilist, and he is not the shining sentinel of liberty that Cap is, that Steve Rogers is. And I'm really liking the beginnings of that dynamic here, because I can see that becoming worse for him and only better for Cap. I can see how they can be seeing the world the way it is and veering in different courses, and that's exciting. Man, when Chip has a character that he has something to say with, Chip fires in all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I think this is that book for sure. I'm having a lot of fun with this. His name is David. It says David Montestoria.
David Colton.
Yeah.
This was a fantastic. This was really great. The first issue, it was a bit jarring to get used to the timey stuff and when does this take place or whatever. But now that you kind of just have to just read the book and what's happening is happening. This is awesome stuff. I'm very, very interested in Chip's commentary on this particular era of American history. I feel like there's so much there, but we haven't really gotten a ton of Captain America comics that deal with it. And it's tough because sometimes you can only really address things in the aftermath. You don't know how to tell the story of the time when you're living in the time sometimes. But now that we're in the aftermath and we know what happened, Chip is finding a very compelling narrative. It's the old America versus the new America. You know, these two versions of Captain America very much represent the era in which they were born and the thing that made them want to be who they are. The thing that motivated Captain America to be Captain America, Steve Rogers, is fascism. It's fascism and the desire to intervene in World War II and be a part of that. For Colton, it's 9/11, and we know how horrible the after war was, the war that resulted from that, and the things that people who partook in that war did. And this is a guy who's going to be disillusioned. And I think it's a disillusionment that robs you of your ability sometimes to have faith in good. And go ahead.
Sorry, did you finish that? Sorry.
Please go.
I think to that point, the good, there's very much the older Cap here is fighting for good versus evil. There's a very clear distinction between what is good, what is bad. We want freedom. We want the American way. We don't want fascism. We don't want somebody taking over and harming people. But the the Captain America of the Iraq War, there's so much gray involved that it all looks the same. There's this American imperialism that is in play. There's this American placing, the next set of rule in a world, propping them up so that they can ideally reign. The Taliban are, for all intents and purposes, in this, yes, the bad guys, but the reason that the translator goes to fight to go kill the next bad guy is because there will always be a vacuum to that, because there is no good or bad anymore. There's simply the intervention that happens and how that affects other people, and that has lasting effects to the people that live in those areas. They will take that, they will internalize that, and they will lash back out.
And that's why when Cap sees, and I love how it goes back in time to before Doomstat. It's when Doom is taking over whatever Doomstat used to be called. Yeah. He sees Doom. And he's like, "There's my modern day Hitler. I got this. This is familiar to me. This is black and white. I know what to do." But it's not. Even that is not black and white to him. And this is him realizing that. And I think there also has this story also has the potential for this other Cap, like in modern times. I believe Arc 2 will be in a modern setting.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Traditionally speaking, the people that were in the Iraq War and a lot of soldiers that were in that, modern government not been too great to them in terms of mental health, in terms of rehabilitation or anything really. To see that version, Cap came back from war during World War II a hero, so much so that David Colton was reading his autobiography that was gotten from a museum. Colton's going to come back a pariah or just a nobody really. But he's a super soldier. So I'm excited to see what that could be like. It's a complete different ideology of what our perception of the armed forces is too. But I think there's some good commentary there.
He also doesn't, well, I guess the book hasn't really explicitly dealt with this, but it doesn't look like he's just a dude. Like the business of Captain America, the the iconography of Captain America, what he stands for, what that suit means, doesn't feel like it's reflected in this version of Cap. He's not wearing the colors of America. He's not a walking propaganda piece. He's got the A on his forehead and the star on his chest, but it feels more like it actually looks to me a lot like what soldiers wore in the Iraq War. It looks a lot like that kind of an outfit.
This is a Cap wearing digital camo, you know?
Exactly. It's camo. He's just a soldier. That's all that iconography has gone away. There is no righteousness in the war anymore.
And that, I think, is going to be a very interesting contrast between these two characters. Now, granted, I don't know still how much I care for these two are going to fight and this guy's going to end up being a maniac and Cap's going to have to put him down. It doesn't have to go that way. It's where I think it's going to go. And this issue definitely teases that out. But I wonder if there is a more interesting route.
I think there is a more interesting route. And I hope Chip takes it. Because I think, again, if he just goes U.S. agent, he just gets, road rage and starts, attacking Cap. That's boring. Sure, maybe they can have one issue where they, beat it out just for the visuals of it. That's a pause moment of the week. But I think it would be more interesting not to go that route for Chip, and I'm pretty confident he won't.
Doom was cool as fuck in this.
Yeah, just eating his gruel and soup.
Yo, when he when Cap and Doom are fighting, Doom came off like a badass. I mean, I think that was a Doombot, but despite that fact, like, just looked cool with all that green energy. And Cap has never really fought anything like that before. So now he's entering into the modern world with arguably the worst person in it, one of the worst people, certainly one of the most powerful people in it. And how do you deal with that? Like, if this doesn't justify the Avengers and joining the Avengers, I don't know what does. Just a very cool Doom inclusion. I'm a lot happier about this one than the one we're going to be talking about. But yeah, I thought this issue was fantastic. I really do.
Not your pick of the week?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
Strong pull.
I know it's going to be. Okay. Yeah.
I'm very excited for the rest of this series. Whatever the direction, I think something is being said here. And Valeria Schiti, by the way, I thought just knocking it out of the park. There are these moments where he takes the time to put in a beat. In Iraq, there's a moment where Colton is just carrying his pack, kind of walking through the military grounds. We see the Russian tank out in like a ditch. And as I was reading this, it harkened back to the conversation we had yesterday with Tilly. Like, you add in the backgrounds, or you fill out the world visually, so that there's stuff that, one, is stimulating to the eye but provides context. And in the context of this story, the tank is a metaphor for the continual cycle of war. Loved it, dude.
I also like, from the art point, the sepia filter or tone that's over the flashbacks in Iraq.
Yeah.
It is classic flashback, iconography, but it also makes sense for where they are, and it even like muddies everything even more art wise, which thematically the story is doing as well. I thought it was really good.
Pull.
Pick of the week. Yeah, pick of the week from me.
Awesome. Chat says 48% pull. Didn't buy or read, 27%. Pick of the week, 14%, and pass is 8%. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Fair enough. Why aren't we buying this, though? People don't feel like they need Captain America in their life. Well, Near says it's on the pull list, picking it up later. Didn't get to issue 1. Okay, fair enough. I feel like this is like, I think Chip has a 100% batting average. Well, I don't even know if that's how that works, but I think he's batted 100.
He was batting 1,000. He's batting 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's batting 1,000 at Marvel.
He's batting 100 at DC.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everything I've read of Chips at Marvel's like, whoa, this dude is like, I can't even believe this. Like, who is this young, fresh talent? But at DC, it's like, who even are you?
What do we have at Marvel? We got Howard the Duck, we got Daredevil, we got this Cap, we have
Marvel team up.
Life Story, right?
Life Story.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Marvel team up or 2-in-1.
Oh,
whatever it's
2-1.
called.
That was a great ass book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Howard the Duck wasn't my flavor, but it wasn't a bad book. I think all of the books he's done have been awesome. So hopefully, I want to say hopefully he stays at Marvel. It just seems like his wheelhouse.
Honestly, once
Yeah.
he's done with Cap, put him on Spider-Man proper.
He recently said that he's notoriously said I will not do that. But he recently said that he was more open to it now. So
Oh, all right. I think he would do amazing work there.
that might be the next big era of Spider-Man. I feel like they need that now.
Yep.
They need that now. Someone who will move things forward and very well may have something to say with the
Move the
character.
timeline forward too. Let's just do it across the board.
Fuck.
Let's do it.
2055.
Spider-Man gets bit on a Zoom meeting on his class in 2020.
Avengers Twilight, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Hated
another
it.
one.
That was
Jeez,
amazing
yeah.
too. Yeah, it was one of my favorite books of the year it came out.
Crewed in with Spectacular Spider-Man, which is when he did Spider-Man, which is really good, and Spider Shadow. Yeah, man, he's really killing it over there.
Yep. Aaron Ruiz, outside of Spencer's take, Nick Spencer, I haven't vibed as much with Captain America. I'm pulling it, but I'm lukewarm for now. What was it specifically about Nick Spencer that you liked that you haven't seen in other places? Because I'm a big fan of that Nick Spencer run.
Me too. Hail Hydra, hell yeah.
Awesome.
I was pro Hail Hydra. I was like, go for it, swing for the fences.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do. I completely agree. Damn, there was a question I wanted to get to, but I think shit. Yeah, it was in another segment. My apologies. Anyway, let's move on and let's talk about One World Under Doom. Number 6 is written by Ryan North with art by R.B. Silva, colors by David Curiel, letters by Travis Lanham.
Sean, one thing.
Yeah.
Did we get to Rami Darwish's super chat for the previous one? So he did $4.99. He said, I saw the conflict between America of the 20th century and America of the 21st century during this Cap dynamic. Which is a good point. Yeah, definitely a good point.
Yeah, completely agreed. Again, I feel like Chip has something to say. We're getting a good idea of what that is, and I'm excited to see it play out. So in this issue of One World Under Doom, Dr. Doom and Reed Richards have a debate on TV. Wow, yippee. And in the interim, you have characters like Scarlet Witch, Sue Storm, and Black Widow trying to invade Latveria to see what's happening over there. And they uncover the fact that things are not what they seem, and that in fact, Doom has been utilizing the life force of Latverian people in order to fuel his powers. And this revelation causes Doom to freak out. He attacks Reed Richards. Maybe he killed him. Who knows? Because the screens went blank, signal was lost, and that is the end of the issue. Tyler, did you love this?
I ain't love it. I still really enjoy what Ryan North's doing in the story. I think he does a bit of a mustache twirly turn for Doom here that is kind of not what I wanted.
Yep.
I like my villains having growth throughout their history and maybe changing at some points. I'm going to be pissed when Marvel turns Magneto into a straight up villain again, which is going to happen once those movies come out. So them doing something that at face value seems like that for Doom, I'm not a fan of. But I kind of like the debate. Yeah, it's very fucking what is it? Oh geez, who wrote The Social Network and
Aaron Sorkin?
Yeah, it is Sorkin-esque in terms of just people trying to outsmart each other in a debate. But I kind of enjoyed that. I feel like I don't get enough of Doom versus Reed, a battle of minds in comics anymore. So I didn't mind that. The art is just not doing it for me. I don't know why I feel this way about the art here. Like the colors on it, it's just a lot of it is just not my thing. Like I've talked about it every time we talk about this book. I understand what they're doing with the colors. They're doing Doom is green, green is secondary. That's bad. We're gonna put our heroes in primary. I get it. I don't like it. And RB Silva is someone who I've traditionally enjoyed their art. His art. He was one of the X-Men guys, Krakoa era guys, and I liked it. Everyone's face here looks like they've been tanning too long. They all look like Tan Mom, just without the tan. They're Jaundice Mom. And of course, Sean knows who Tan Mom is.
I definitely do.
They're all look weird, and anyone who is any form of Caucasian is yellow. They look sickly, and I just think the colors are really taking me out of the book. But I like what Ryan North's doing.
I think echoing what you started with here, I didn't want this to go the way that it is. I didn't want there to be the nefarious, reason. I did want this to be a little more, I guess, elevated, but for the sake of the story, it functions, it works. It's just not as entertaining, I would think. Like Ryan North is a smart writer, so I would have thought he would come up with something clever, and he really has just, uh, you know, made all of the people in his country just these, little farms. And at least the context to which this enhances the power, I thought, okay, that's interesting. That's a good way to give him the boost here, the level up, the ninth layer of magic, whatever it was that they describe. But outside of this, I'm not loving it as much as it started because I thought that they really had a conflict here, one that wasn't just of might, but of meaning, and that's kind of diminished. I think the art's still strong. I've liked RB Silva. The colors still function for me. Everything about the art is strong in my eyes. Um, just the writing here's come down a little bit more.
Marco, bring up the page where the title, Chapter 6, Conscience of the King. I think it's like page 6 or so. I have it up on the screen, too. You can look at it at the screen. There's nothing wrong about those faces to you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, Howard Stern's in the middle, apparently, but...
That looks like Howard Stern, Ozzy Osbourne, and Sharon Osbourne fused.
It looks like that Rod Stewart had a concert recently where he had on his background monitor AI images of all dead celebrities just chilling in heaven with Ozzy Osbourne, and that's what that looks like. It looks like the colors are like over the pencils to the point where like it muddied what the pencils look like. I don't like color them flat. This is like a weird, not flat, but sort of like it's a weird coloring. I'm not a fan of it at all. But Marco, you liked it.
I see it, but
I'm making you like this book less.
It's all right.
All right.
Yeah, get the soapbox ready. I know you were pulling it out earlier.
This is on the road to being the worst Marvel event I have ever read. This is the greatest example I have ever seen of how hard it really must be to think of what to do during an event, because Ryan North otherwise has never missed. Everything he does is great. This is not great. This debate idea that he came up with, I don't actually understand what he's thinking about, because this debate doesn't make any sense at all. Reed Richards is saying, hey, you have killed people. And Dr. Doom is like, yes, but it needed to be done.
It's a little too, and I don't mean this in a pejorative sense, it's a little too lived out for my take. It's a little bit too much. Reed is the common sense and science, and Dr. Doom is just the guy that can, kill someone in the middle of Broadway and get away with it. It's a little too on the nose for me.
The idea that Dr. Doom is some amazingly charismatic guy that he just can convince people to look past murder and all. Where the fuck is Ryan North pulling that from? And that's been one of my biggest problems with this event the whole time. It's not believable. It doesn't work. Dr. Doom his name is Dr. fucking Doom. His name is Dr. Doom. His name is Dr. Doom. And you're telling me that someone who murders people on the reg, that it would not be a surprise at all to see him killing people in New York is so charismatic that people look past that? No, sir. I'm sorry.
Doom didn't even do that with Latveria. He runs that place like a tyrant. He's a tyrant from there.
Yeah.
Like maybe if historically speaking, that's how he ran Latveria, as a benevolent, leader that only he can do it. No, he has his Doombots running the country. Everyone's afraid of him.
He also brings up in the debate all the other things that heroes have had the ability to do and didn't do. And that's stupid as fuck too, because what have you done? Other than right now, other than the last X amount of in-story days that have gone by, what has Doom done for the people in comparison to Iron Man, Hank Pym, fucking Black Panther? Black Panther runs Wakanda, and it's a beautiful place full of beautiful people, and they got money. Latveria looks like shit.
All right, I'm gonna play the Reed Richards of this, because the Wakanda looks good, but the world doesn't. And once Doom brought up, he's like, Hank Pym, he could just make big chickens. World hunger's gone. I was like, you know what? You're fucking right.
What?
Doom gave me free healthcare. Doom giving me big chickens. Although free education. Like, Doom has done on paper more than the Avengers did for the everyman.
That's not true, because the reason those everymen are alive is because of the Avengers and not you.
The Avengers are fighting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right now.
I don't want to do this. This debate is dumb. It's just bad. It's just, I rarely ever want to come on here and say this, but it's bad writing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the fact that this reveal is even supposed to be a reveal that Doom is doing something mean. Oh, wait, you mean the thing that he's been doing in every single book other than this one? Every tie-in, every single tie-in, Doom is a piece of shit.
The Thunderbolts one, he destroyed a whole city with a nuke on U.S. soil. It was Bucky's hometown.
That's crazy, dude.
But hey, needs of the many.
Right, that's right. Outweigh.
Hold on. Big McChickens, Sean. Big McChickens. Doom's giving you Big McChickens.
I don't care.
I thought we would get you on that one.
This is Drek. This is Drek. I just, why would Reed Richards agree to debate Doom on television? That's dumb. Why would Doom agree to debate Reed on television? That's also dumb. Why is it that the most powerful person in the world falls short when it comes to Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Sue fucking Storm? That's also dumb.
The plot point that really annoyed me was Maria Hill coming out of nowhere last issue. She's like, oh yeah, I know where the weak point is. Me and Shield Intelligence. Shield Intelligence? Shield hasn't been around in a decade.
It is around.
Oh, and what book? When did it come back?
They were in the Mystique book. They're active.
Oh, but they're like this. They're essentially CIA. They don't got helicarriers anymore. They're all paper pushers.
Read the book. They have a lot of stuff. And then there you go.
They're not Nick Fury Shield. All I'm saying.
But she just pulls up and points out, "Hey, I aim
right
a little to your left. Yeah, a little to your left. Right. Yeah. Okay."
It's like when your big brother shows you how to use where the boss's weak spot is.
Like, that's wild to me. That was that, and it's interesting because the entire time that they're in there and they're gonna go into this thing and they're revealing everything that's happening, I'm there sitting waiting. Haha, they're gonna not that they're gonna find something, but this is all part of Doom's plan. He's orchestrated it all. Of course, he's gonna let them in. Of course, they're gonna find the weak spot. Of course, he's gonna be on live television and they're gonna display something that actually, oops, it backfires on you. And then it doesn't.
It wasn't like issue 2 about him talking to Valyria and how I'm gonna be a good person. I'm gonna do this in a good way.
That's right. Yeah.
And she hasn't showed up
Liar.
since. Like, I want that
Liar.
foil. Hey.
How this is, what is this? I think it's 9 issues. How
Yeah,
it's
we got a
9
couple more.
issues and you don't have any emotional hook at all? At all? There's no emotional hook at all. Really? Come
Yeah.
on.
Sean,
If this satisfies you as far as events are concerned, I don't want to hear shit about books like Civil War. I don't want to ever hear it because oh my god, Mark Waid was fucking Shakespeare compared to what's happening in this comic book. Or Mark Miller, not Mark Waid.
oh, okay. So you're saying Blood Hunt?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
This Blood Hunt is better than this.
Yo, that's
Ooh,
crazy.
100%.
What I'll give
Blood
Sean?
Hunt looked great.
What I'll give Sean is that book looked good. Those people had faces.
Okay.
They had fangs, but they had faces.
Pass. And it's ugly. Sorry. It's not a good looking comic. I don't know. RB Silva is fucking extremely talented and he's so good. I don't know what the problem is with this. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the colorist. Whatever it is, this is not his best look.
I don't know who's inking him too. Do we have an inker, or is he inking himself?
Probably him. It's probably him.
Or yeah, it's the same issue I had with his stuff on the tail end of Fall of Krakoa. I didn't like it, and it looks greasy. It looks wet. It looks. I don't like the way it's colored at all. Something's got to change, I think, because I traditionally do really, really like RB Silva.
David Curiel is a very good colorist.
Yeah.
I just think these two don't go together. Or they're trying something out that's not working.
It's like chocolate and sardines.
Luna said this book's make Civil War 2 look good. I completely agree.
Oh, well, let's not go that far.
I completely agree. It's a beautiful looking book. David Marquez on art, and it has an emotional center point. This does not.
Did Civil War 2 have arcade? Don't think so.
Thank goodness. Pass.
It's still a pull for me. It's not a strong pull.
Yep.
But it is a pull for me.
I'm so much higher on this than all of you guys. While it's not great, it's still a pull for me. It's not terrible.
My opinion on this series as a whole looks like a New York City Richter scale lately, in that it's all over the place. It is. I'm jumping back and forth, issue to issue with this. I'll love one issue. I won't like the next one. I'll be middling on the next one. I don't know what this is going to read like as an entirety for me. It's a weird one.
I like that Sean ended it with, you're not smart, this, and you're ugly.
Your mom
Damn,
stinks.
dude. Yeah, all of it.
Your dad drinks pickle juice.
I didn't talk about any person. I didn't talk about a person. I talked about the art. Scripture says, damn, this must be years of reading through comic book events. As a newcomer, to be honest, it works for me. It's not amazing, but fun for me. I just wish it had more heart. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, dude. I'm glad you enjoy it. 47% didn't buy or read. Pull is 35%. Pass is 14%. Pick of the week is 2%. Okay. All right. Entertain Me says, Cap saying Hail Hydra is the emotional outcome that made everyone's eyes glued and need for what comes next. One World Under Doom does none of that. Agreed. Luna, okay, Sean, One World Under Doom or Hush 2? Hush 2. 100%.
I mean,
Jim Lee is one of the greatest.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest artists of all time. Never going to bet against Jim Lee. Yeah. Okay, slightly hyperbolic. Ultimatum is worse than this. Yes, you're right. Yes, you were right, David.
I don't know about that. David Finch's art in Ultimatum is really good.
That's true. It's a beautiful book.
Like, I know the Blob eats Wasp, but it was drawn phenomenally.
I read Ultimatum within the last year because I wanted to see the origin of the maker. And I don't know if you've read it, Tyler, but genuinely, I was astounded by how bad it was. Like it's
Whoa, hold on. The origin of the maker's in Ultimatum?
Well, pieces of it. Like I was
Oh, okay.
reading.
Got it. Okay. Because I'm like, I read Ultimatum. I've never read any Ultimate Fantastic Four, but I've read Ultimatum, and I didn't remember that. But okay.
Yeah. Matt Fisher with 4.99. I can't believe 8 Deaths of Spider-Man is still going on. Thankfully, it's not.
Just the 8 deaths of Sean is happening right now. Whenever he reads,
Yeah.
Live.
Reading these issues of One World Under Doom, I die a little more inside every time. You're absolutely right. Let's talk about the book that won the poll this week. Let's talk about Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #3. This is written by Charles Soule with art by Steve McNiven. And he also was a story collaborator, big time on this. Letters by Clayton Cowles, colors by Dean White. This is the finale issue, which is so sad, but also sweet because of how damn good it is. This is the big battle between Daredevil and Bullseye, who is the big bad of this series. You would probably expect Kingpin or somebody like that, but no, it is Bullseye. They're both old ass men, but they've both got a little bit left in the tank, and Bullseye wants to make a show of it. He puts their big battle on television live for everybody to see as New York is threatened by an explosion, a bomb that also carries some kind of a deadly poison. And Daredevil wants to save the day one last time. The question is, can he do that? Can old man Daredevil get one last win? Marco, how do you feel about Daredevil Cold Day in Hell?
I'm glad you guys are having fun with this one. Because I can't get by, like, I can't get into the narrative of this. Yes, Daredevil has powers, but he's still an old man, and that feels different than an old man Logan, or it feels different than somebody who has like recursive healing and things like that. Plus the old man Bullseye, like there's a point where they have their like their fight, and it took me out of the book so much to think of like, oh, bones are cracking. This guy's probably pull the muscle on this end because they haven't done this in forever. I'm sure they have the drugs and they have whatever this poison thing is to kind of elevate that, but I didn't buy it. I'm just not buying some of these things. Um, the the art's phenomenal. Well, it's good. It's a different flavor. It feels very cross between Martin Morazzo and Frank Miller. It's interesting. I like the stylization, but I'm not in love with its function. There's a lot of moments where I'm looking at the panel right now, or the page right now, where Daredevil's on the American flag, looking out to Bullseye, and the lankiness in all this, like it doesn't feel like I'm reading heroics as much as it feels like I'm seeing the downward spiral of two men, and that hasn't been interesting to me.
I don't think I could be more farther away from you, in my opinion on this. I think this is rad. I think this is everything it needs to be. I think this is better than Old Man Logan because they feel like old men. The entirety of this 3 issues, Daredevil's like, my powers are given away. The only reason he has his powers again is because he got a bit. He had the whippets of his the stuff that gave him powers originally, and yeah, I really enjoyed it for that. It's a good kind of thesis on who Daredevil is too. He's New York City savior at its core, and he's gonna do it even if it kills him. And most of the time, it usually leads to bad things in his life happening to the people he cares about, but it's still for the greater good, and that's what this book is. And I like how at the same time there's a bit of a dissection of who Punisher is, literally, and the idea of Bullseye being a showman at his core, and that's really all he does this for. I thought that was a good spin on it. I think what really I love about this book is the fucking McNiven art. I think this is the most compelling I've seen McNiven in a long time. I like how old and gangly and decrepit these characters look. I do love how it is aping Miller purposely. It's Daredevil after all. This does not look like the same guy who drew Civil War. This does not look like the same guy who drew Logan. It's different, and I really like that. I think it's just really neat seeing an artist that's so iconic buck his own trend, and that's what this book is for me. This was almost my pick of the week. Cap beat it out, but I really, really, really enjoyed this.
This was my pick of the week. This book is a revelation. It is unbelievably good. One of the best, last days of, X hero books that Marvel has ever done, certainly, and lives up to the quality you would expect from Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Some of these pages are just ridiculous. Like the fight between Daredevil and Bullseye that plays out across these 2 pages, which, I mean, between the two of them, there are more than 20 panels, I'm pretty sure. 4 or 7, yeah, there are more than 20 panels between these 2 pages, and that's a lot for 2 pages. On average, you get about 5 to 6 panels a page, so that's a ridiculous amount to put on between 2 pages, but it works perfectly. So good.
I like that one panel there where it's a reflection of the camera lens, and it's fisheyed a bit. It's like, all right, they're showing us the same thing from different perspectives. I enjoyed that.
But there's like these moments where Charles Soule goes, used to be I could shoot the wings off a fly, still can, just takes a lot more bullets. I'm not enthralled.
But see, that enthralled me because that's what would drive Bullseye insane. The only thing he has is his accuracy. And the fact that, like, yeah, he could do it, but it's going to take him a lot. It's going to be harder for him to do, would make him even crazier and more dangerous in a way.
It also plays into what's happening on those panels because he needs these things that he's throwing, these nails or whatever, those needles. He uses multiple to throw at Daredevil instead of just the one. And he's also talking to an audience. So he's deliberately being showman-y for that reason. So for me, I didn't question that dialogue. Honestly, do you have to have a relationship with Daredevil to enjoy this? No. But I think what Marco is experiencing is the fact that because he doesn't have a relationship with Daredevil, this just doesn't hit him at all. The strength of the work is not enough to draw him in, which, I get. I get that.
The one moment that I thought was really cool, where he spits out his tooth, and it bounces around and it hits the thing. I was like, okay, that was cool.
That might be all-time Bullseye moments going forward. Like, you're going to see a BuzzFeed VR video 10 years from now where they mention that in top Bullseye moments.
That was so cool. And the Punisher of this whole thing, where he's been in the book since I think issue 1, and we've seen him. He's got no limbs, and Bullseye's been taunting him, and he shows him an old Iron Man-esque outfit, some kind of a mech suit that has Iron Man's color scheme. And he shows it to him, and he explains how it works, and he's like, all right, see ya. And obviously Punisher's gonna jump in that and tear it up. And he does. He kills a bunch of Bullseye's goons. I love all that stuff. Seeing Punisher just get to unleash. It felt like this issue gave Punisher the best outcome he could possibly have. He kills a bunch of assholes, but he also saves a girl. And I love that being the Punisher's final moment, or presumable final moment, at least in this universe, where he is this vicious killer, but it was always because he wanted to help people.
I do think there is that Punisher bit where he's about to kill Bullseye. He bites his nose off, and it's vile, disgusting. But we finally get context as to why Matt was at Wilson Fisk's grave early on. Is that Matt felt guilt. That was Catholic guilt at the end there. Because he could have saved Kingpin, and he let Punisher kill him, which led Punisher down presumably an even worse route, which led to him being, the disfigured person he is in this book. And in a way, Daredevil stops him from committing that same sin and saves him. He rights that wrong that he didn't get to do back then, which was the downfall of Daredevil, it seems, in this world.
Yep.
I thought that was a great full circle moment, and also a great way of revealing the whys of issue 1.
Yeah, that moment hit me really hard because Daredevil has always, as a character, been about teetering on that line because he's a very violent person. He's extremely violent, but he's always been about towing that line between heaven and hell, good and bad, murder and salvation, you know. And he doesn't save Kingpin there. And in that panel, if you look at Kingpin's face, it's not, he's not pleading. He's expecting Daredevil to do what he does. He's like, save me, because that's what you do, right? And he's got his big old smile on his face. And Daredevil has one moment of weakness that changes the lives of Punisher and Daredevil forever.
And that sliver of a panel is the only time we see Kingpin in these three issues.
Yeah. And yet, I would argue his massive shadow looms large over this whole book.
Yep. And at the end, like, Daredevil is a character of sacrifice. And at the end, his final moment is he sacrifices himself. It's the Jesus moment for him. Sacrifices himself to save his people.
Yeah. The martyr.
Yeah, he's always a martyr. That's who he is. Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't care about was the girl having all those, basically just being a Deus Ex Machina here.
She's an angel, literally.
Yeah,
you know?
she just is a literal angel who can solve all these problems and whatever. It doesn't really matter because the story is over, because Matt's story is over. He's dead. He's done. It's over. He accomplished his mission, and he died a hero. I love that moment.
I do have one question, though, because Entertainment brings it up, and I didn't even think about it when I was reading this. He said, why bring Elektra in the second issue, showing she found a way to stay young, and she does not make an appearance in this issue? They had like that big splash, too, in issue 2. It was very Miller-esque.
Because if Elektra didn't appear in this, we would be saying, where was Elektra?
I guess.
I don't think she really had a part to play in the overall narrative. And I also don't really know how you use her here in a way that doesn't take away from everything else that's happened.
I think you could have thrown her in that list of names of people that died that Matt says in this. You know, he mentions, Kristen. He mentions, he doesn't, Foggy's still alive, but he mentions a whole bunch of people that died because of him. If your Elektra's name in there is fine. And it feels like, for me, McNiven wanted to draw Elektra in the style of Miller and found a way to do it.
Yeah.
But I ain't complaining about that, really, because it looked damn good.
Unbelievable paneling. Like, this is, like, I want this in an artist format, like the big pages, so I can really take this in. And I almost never have that feeling about Big Two comic art. But man, oh man, Steve McNiven was on another stratosphere here and solidified himself genuinely as one of the greatest Marvel artists of all time.
I really need him on a Batman book. Especially he's been drawing Batman, and there's a rumor, right, of it?
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Can't wait.
Make it happen.
Pick of the week. Stellar stuff.
Hard pull for me. Was not pick of the week, but definite pull.
Pass.
Oof. Hold on. You
don't.
Oh, I have to. What, you
wait.
think One World Under Doom was better than this?
I had more of a good time. I had
All
more
right.
fun.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Joseph Wolf. He that's the big thing that Tom King has said. I believe it'll come to fruition. So I believe we will see Steve McNiven on Batman in 2026. There's almost no doubt about it. Didn't buy or read, 50% of you. Ouch. Poll, 28%. Pick of the week, 21%. Nobody passed except Marco.
That's a 50-50. Essentially.
This book is much better than a 50-50. But
tradesman.
I think that's
there are people who said I read the first issue and I knew I want to read this in trade.
Yeah. Scripture. I like that it was 3 issues, but I wanted to live in this world a little more, maybe padding it out with a 4th issue. You could do that, but I'm kind of glad that they kept it to 3. They're all oversized issues anyway. Yeah. And so really you kind of got the length of 4 issues, maybe even more than that. I think they got in and got out. They did what they needed to do. It's great stuff. So those are the books we told you about that we would be reviewing. But we've got a couple of other books that we added to the docket just to, you know how we like to throw in books here and there, and plus the guys didn't get to read a couple of the books. So we're gonna talk now. Well, Tyler's gonna talk about All New Venom #9.
Oh, I put JSA on the docket first. Oh, okay. Ignore that, guys. All New Venom #9. I wanted to talk about this because it leaked before the book came out. I hate a leak. And I hated this one in particular because this showed the possible the breakup of our best friends, Mary Jane Watson and Paul Paul. I like this book. This is a weird book. All New Venom is kind of this weird. It's a book of two stories. It's Mary Jane as Venom with the other symbiotes. You got Toxin, you got Sleeper, you got Flash Thompson, Anti-Venom, versus a whole bunch of like the Scar unit with like Thrasher, I think is one of them, and Doc Ock, who refuses to see who's under the mask of any of these characters because as soon as he knows the secret identity of people, things go bad for him. That's the superheroic side of things. The other side is a family drama between Mary Jane, Paul, and their adoptive son, Eddie Brock's kid. What was his name? Dylan Brock, yes. And I think this book's goofy. I think it's stupid. But honestly, I'm kind of bummed about the breakup. I think it's too soon. I know Paul. I know Al Ewing is a hater of Paul. He ain't a fan. He said it. You don't get to just do this. If I swear to God, if this is a way to get Mary Jane back into Joe Kelly's book, I'm gonna be pissed. Get that woman away from Peter Parker. I never want to see them together again. I think Paul needs to go hang out with Doctor Strange, maybe hang out with the Sanctum Sanctorum, work on his magic that he's sort of figured out, but he kind of fucked over his relationship with. I need to see more of Paul. Put him in other books. Let's get him out of Spider-Man. But I'm kind of bummed about this breakup. It could just be a bump in the road. How long is the book? The book isn't terribly long, much longer. I think there is an end coming up. But I'm generally enjoying it. I think there's some really fun Doc Ock in this. The art by Carlos Gomez is really good, even though Mary Jane has really tiny feet. And this God, I just pointed out the feet, not dodging the allegations. She has really tiny feet, but yeah, this is the penultimate issue. Yeah, so there's only one more issue left of this. Man, it's kind of a bummer because I liked it. But yeah, pour one out for Paul, I guess.
I think that there is a pretty decent chance that we're looking at the next Venom, the next person to get the Venom symbiote. I think Mary Jane is breaking up with Paul first, then she's going to break up with Venom, then Venom and Paul are going to get together. Similar to how we've got this fucking guy in Green Lantern who's mad, so he became the Sorrow Lantern. I feel like Paul might have a similar destiny.
Typical poly, relationship. Two of them break up, and the other two, go off to do their own thing.
Link up.
Man, what are these? Where are these guys living in Greenpoint?
It's a story as old as time. Williamsburg, Bushwick.
Are they turning? Is this Paul's heel turn?
I hope so. I think that would be very, very cool.
That's boring if he just becomes the ex-boyfriend who's evil now and making Venom evil.
It's not a guarantee, just my supposition. Who knows?
But
Paul doesn't really have a place in the world as a character if he's not with MJ. What's there going to be? Paul #1? Nobody's looking for that. So what is his...
Oh, I am. Paul Year 1. Let me get that.
Was the scene of... Because I don't know if this actually happened this week or where this happened, but I saw some panels of Mary Jane going to Peter's house and showing him that she's Venom, and him just being like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" and closing the door in her face. Did that happen in this?
I don't think it was in this book. I think that might have been in Amazing Spider-Man or something. I'm like 2 issues behind on Amazing Spider-Man, so that might have been in a different Spider book.
Maybe it happened in ASM today. I don't know. I didn't read it yet, but I think it's very interesting that Peter saw her like that and did not fuck with it. He was not cool with that. I really like that because he wouldn't be. And quite frankly, I don't think she would be either. But that's a story that they've decided to tell, so fine. But Peter definitely would not be cool with that.
Wait, you think they're gonna have Mary Jane crawl back to Peter, and he's like, "Nah, I'm in my bachelor phase right now."
Maybe there's some drama.
It's just, yeah, I think it's just drama. Yeah. Frank M said, I need to see that panel. Yeah. Well, chat says it's in ASM today. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all new Venom number 9. And then let's talk about JSA number 10. This is Jeff Lemire, Rafael De La Torre, colors by Luis Guerrero, letters by Steve Wands. Let me pitch you on what happens in this issue. The JSA are fighting the same bad guys that they've been fighting since issue 1.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why this book is good.
Hell yeah.
I love this book. I have a lot of fun with this book. Rafael De La Torre is on this issue, right? So different than it's had a couple issues, a couple artists throughout the issues, including Gavin Guidry. I like this because that feels like the JSA we read, the Jeff Johns one. It feels like there's just this world and a cast of characters with interpersonal relationships, and they're just trying to be superheroes. And yeah, there's this cadre of villains that are kind of the anti parts of them, and then it's a weird reflective mirror on the characters. But I dig that. I like how Johnny Asaro shows up, and then a bickering married couple has to stop them, and they don't do it because they're in a bad mental state right now. They don't pull it off correctly. I like how Kendra and Hawkman and Hawkgirl, they're not used to each other. These iterations of the characters do not really know who each other are, but they're learning, but they're bickering, and it's screwing up their superhero stuff. That's the stuff I like about this. Sure, there's been this quest the villains have been on in the past 10 issues just to get this MacGuffin staff, just so I think Johnny Sorrow can summon those same unnamed, old gods that he did in the old JSA book. But I dig that. I think this is a lot of fun.
I think some of the in-between issues have hampered the pace, but I'm still glad that these are the villains that we're interacting with. Like, they will ultimately get their comeuppance, and the fact that they're using this time the fact that you're going to know that, but they're using this time to introduce the JSA, the dead JSA members and their powers, and then how this plays into Kid Eternity. Like, they're building up the stuff around it, so it feels like it's no longer necessarily about the conflict with the team as much as it is what are we building into next. Like, this is all prelude, so that once we defeat the big bads, then cool, then we already have our setting for the rest. So now it's just a matter of when are we waiting for the big punch to get thrown, and I'm sitting patiently waiting for that. I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too. I think the book is pretty good, but I'm a little lost in the weeds at this point, just because this conflict has been going on for so long. And I just feel like it really hasn't twisted and turned very much. And so because of that, it's just feels like one long road. Like, normally 10 issues deep, if you're going to be on the same story, there typically would be some big beat that has happened, that some bigger beats. Wildcat died, so that was a big beat, but again, he died in the same conflict we've been having. So I kind of just need there to be a little bit more story propulsion.
This reminds me of like the good seasons of Game of Thrones, where like you have a huge cast of characters, and yeah, one issue might showcase 3 or 4 of them when there's 20 of them, and we don't get to see those other characters until 2 issues down the line. I'm okay with that because I think it's good. Like, there's that bit where Hawkman and Hawkgirl are like, oh, we can just go see Wildcat at the Tower of Eternity later. They don't even know he's dead yet. They had a funeral for the dude already. So, like, it just shows how wildly spread out this whole cast of characters is. So that when the eventual, culmination of this arc happens, where they do come together, it's going to be impactful.
Some people in the chat are also saying, they can't wait to read this in trade.
Mm.
To that point, the first part of this was, inter not galactic, but like interspiritual, mystical, whatever forces, we need to stop them. And then it was, reveal that it's actually the villains, and we've been dealing with the villains as fully revealed of a team for the past few issues. But because they were the cause of the initial, like the impetus of all of this, I think it's felt like they've been, hanging over all of this. And so as we're building, right, like, again, we're gonna get that comeuppance. I'm pulling.
And the art, Orlot de Gui, or no, this is Della Torre on this one. It's pretty good. I really like the art in this issue. Diego Orlortegui's art style is cool, but I thought this was a bit of a freshening up. And to be honest, I don't think it'll happen, but I would love to see Delator be the main series artist going forward. I mean, I know that we're getting Gavin for an arc soon, which I'm really excited about, but Delator's art is awesome.
Yeah, I think I feel the opposite, honestly. I think I liked Orlortegui a little more because it was a little more cartoony. It felt a little more different than this. Feels more like he could have been the Delator could have been the artist of JSA a decade ago. Orlortegui feels a little more modern and a little more animated, and I was enjoying that. I like both of them a lot, but I think if asked for my preference between the two, I'd lean the opposite end as you.
Yeah, something about this feels a little more. You're right, like 2000s, whereas the Lord Thigui, I think it has a bit more of that cartoony aspect. This is less of that. I like when you lean JSA into the cartooniness. Entertainment with the $5 says, I would rather we talked about the breakup in Secret Six instead of A and V.
All new Venom.
All new Venom. The end of John J is final. They're definitely on the path to be enemies. Oh shit!
Damn,
Drama.
I didn't read it yet. Damn.
Oh damn, dude.
Dropping the spoiler in the
Damn,
super
entertain
chat.
me more like spoiled me. Nah, it's fine. I'll survive.
Yeah. Pull. JSA is good.
Pull. Yep.
You guys got a favorite JSA member right now?
No.
Because they killed him off already, right?
No. I just don't really have a connection to these characters yet.
I love Hawkman. I've always been a Hawkman guy.
I think.
You're thinking hard, it seems
Jesse.
like.
Jesse. I
Jesse
like
Quick?
Jesse. Yeah, I like the drama that's going on there.
Dude likes an angry woman, I guess.
Hey.
57% didn't buy or read. Pull is 35%. Pass is 7%. Nobody chose this as their pick of the week.
Dang.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's get into the stack. There's a segment we do on the show every week because I buy a lot of comics and I am very serious about lowering my book count. I forget who was talking about it. There were a few people talking about it on the Discord server, lowering their stack amount, and I just have to do that. So I've dropped some books that I was really enjoying, like Batman and Robin, Detective Comics, a few others too. I got to figure out how to present the books that I've dropped to you guys. BJ, Comics Are Dope, just put out a great video this week where he was going over that for himself.
The culling.
Yeah, so very good stuff on that front. Yeah, get those numbers in. Let's see them. I saw Fantastic Four again. I saw it again yesterday.
Oh.
Your opinions similar?
Stronger.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm afraid of seeing it twice to dislike it more.
Well, you liked it less than I did, so that doesn't surprise. I went with my aunt and uncle. They really loved it. It's got a great feel. That retro future New York City vibe and feel just really came through so much. Man, without thinking less about the movie, and just watching it, I had a lot more fun. And I had a bunch of fun the first time around. But like knowing what was coming and just riding the wave, man, it was fun.
I just want to get a super chat in here for Tom Account, $4.99. He said, for a generationally great comic, go get the New Frontier Compact Edition. $10 for one of the greatest comic stories ever. New Frontier is my favorite DC comic story of all time. And Darwin Cook is top 3 artists for me of all time. And honestly, his art style would probably lend itself really well to Compact. It's a little bigger. The characters are straightforward cartoons. I might just grab that. I have a hardcover of it, a deluxe edition. I probably want the absolute edition at one point, and maybe I should get the compact. This is where I'm triple dipping if I need to.
All right, let's count.
We'll go. We got Near with 15, James Jones 16, Rami Darwish 14, Ted H 21, Uncanny Suit 17, Luna 17, Hayden's Hideout 16, Joseph Wolf 12, Cruden 95 13, Atomic Hound 14, Wow 3627, Entertain Me with 14, says $80 plus, spent less than $100, improvement Sean.
All right. Well, we talked about 7 books that I have on the show, and then Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, number 5.
Nice.
Something is Killing the Children, number 43. Sisterhood, number 2. That's a Hyde Street book. World Tree, number 16.
Oh,
I
that's
was
a cool
not
cover.
able to get cover A. They didn't have anymore, which is crazy. Amazing Spider-Man, number 9. Ultimate Wolverine, number 8. And Birds of Prey, number 24. 14.
7 plus 7.
Yep. Easy
Team
math.
got that.
Entertain me.
Atomic Hound got it as well.
Rami Darwish first.
Rami always has the quickest gun.
Nice. Good stuff. Rami, if you want any of the Marvel books, any of the codes, feel free to let me know. Obviously, any of the runner-ups, really anybody. If you want any of these books, please reach out and let me know. Entertain Me says Uncanny X-Men. What about it? I don't read that anymore. I dropped that.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Uncanny Suit. I saw Superman 4 times.
Ooh.
Got even better on rewatching Big Time. Nice.
What?
Oh.
I finally saw it.
Oh,
what'd you think?
I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I feel like it got hyped for me. I definitely felt the I don't like using the term of like gunisms, but I definitely felt the moments where the emotional build was there and then undercut by a comedic moment. Especially there's the big part at the end where Lex is in tears and like pointing and just angrily berating Superman, and I was swelling up, like I could feel it in me. And then fucking Crypto walks in and starts throwing him around. I'm like, oh, dude, I was having a moment there with you, and we no longer have it. Yeah.
do you think that your delay in seeing it and seeing all the hubbub around it ruined things for you?
I don't know if it ruined things, but it definitely did give me some level of expectation that I was like, oh, this is going to be, an elevated experience. It was good. It was very, very good. Very strong. I definitely did have emotional moments in general. The Pa Kent moment was excellent. But I thought that overall, as a package, like it felt a little disjointed compared to Fantastic Four. Like that felt like it had much more structure and I think a visual continuity.
PSA, if anyone has Verizon, speaking of movies, check your Verizon rewards or whatever. They were giving out like a $56 Fandango gift card for free. So if you guys want to rewatch a whole bunch of shit, check that out.
I'm glad you got to check it out, Marco.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy more, that or Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four.
Okay.
What out of 5, what would you give it?
A 4. It was still good.
Okay. That's still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was still good. Like the things that I like didn't like about it, I don't think were problems with the movie, as much as they were, like for me, just I didn't jive with it.
Cool. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Glad we got caught up on that. Uh, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been an awesome edition of Pals Pulse. Hit the like button on your way out, and don't forget this Saturday, 10:15 a.m. Eastern, Ultimate Deep Dive Part 2. We're going to be joined by Gavin Guidry. It should be an awesome conversation. I've got a really interesting show planned. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. We had a bunch of fun last week, so who knows what we're going to get up to